All right, we are live. What's going on, T-shirt millionaires? We have an amazing guest today. I really look forward to having this conversation with this brother. He's actually in the hometown where I'm at, and he is Angelo Bonaparte, the founder, the creator of Cosmos Inc. And so today we're gonna have another sublimation conversation, right? He has ink that he's created. He has this large Facebook group. Right before we ended up hopping on live, we were talking about how he grew the group, but I just really want to go through this brother's story. Let's talk about how some things that can help you add sublimation to your process. Maybe you could put it in your product line. We're just going to take it from there. So with that being said, extremely excited. Y'all know how we do. We're going to hit the intro and we'll be right back with a conversation with Cosmos Inc. So my brother, we right off the top, we got a mutual friend. Look like our guy Stan the man. He already told in, said shout out to the bros. But with that being said, man, how you doing, bro? I appreciate you being here, man. How you doing today, fam?
Oh man, feeling like $1,000,000, man.
Word. That's what's up, man. Well, look, I appreciate it. I'm glad that we're able to chop, have this conversation. And so for everybody who doesn't know you, let everybody know who you are, man. Let them know what you do.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? So my name is Angelo from Cosmos Inc. And pretty much what I do is I show people the ins and outs and how to get started with sublimation. So that starts all the way from what items you need, how to convert various printers, a cartridge printer versus an eco tank printer. What are going to be the benefits, pros and cons between both of them? And I also ended up launching my own line of ink through that. And I just show people how to do that.
Yeah. So tell people, like, for those who don't know, what is sublimation, bro? Like, tell us about that. What exactly is sublimation?
So sublimation derives from the word sublimate, which meaning that you have a solid and you're skipping the liquid state and go straight to the gas state. So pretty much with sublimation, even though it's liquid ink, when it hits the paper and dries up, it becomes a solid. And then when you apply heat to it, it changes from a solid into a gas and adhere to the polyester fibers or any type of polyacrylic item that is made for sublimation.
My dog just hit me with a whole science class. My dog talking about liquid and solid.
Yeah. Hey, gotta know what you're talking about, dog. Gotta know what you're talking about, man.
That's what's up, man. So with the sublimation, a lot of the times when I see it, is that more like all around printing? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that printing all around the shirt? Is that usually how it's done, or can it be like on the front or a sleeve or just one place? Tell me about that.
It can be virtually anywhere on the shirt, but the main thing is that it has to be, I prefer it is 100% polyester. Okay. Once you start going lower than that, like 90% or 80%, the more dull your image will be. But you can print it on the whole front, whole back, just the sleeves, like you said. You can do a cut and sew. Pretty much you're just heat pressing different patterns and sewing it together. You can pretty much virtually do almost any kind of printing with it. Almost.
That's dope. That's dope. No, I love it. So with that being said, family, tell me about how you got in the game. Like I told you, I went and I did some research and I was reading around, and it sounded like back in 2013, you were trying to create some hats or something like that. Tell me about the beginning process of when you got started with this whole sublimation game.
Oh man. So when I first got started, it wasn't even about sublimation. It wasn't even about printing anything. It was just about, I wanted to start up a video game arcade.
Word.
I didn't have the capital to start it up. Nobody would give it to me because I wasn't in business. I wasn't making any money from it. So like, what can I sell to, make some money for it? Right. So then I started selling video game themed hats. I sold a couple, literally like 2 or 3.
Right.
But then when people found out that I can make custom hats, then they was like, hey, can you make me a hat? I was like, yeah, what you want on it? So that's how I got the word or the business name Caps on Fire, which I started out as. And then it just transitioned from there into vinyl. And I was doing vinyl in and out for about 2 or 3 years. Then I ended up getting a shirt press. Then it was vinyl on the shirts. Then I was like, man, I gotta find something better to do than all this weeding, man, because I got a huge order one day. I was like, oh nah.
You're like, you can't do it. That's too much, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So then
yeah, I heard about that. I heard about the vinyl, the whole weeding process and how it's a lot. Yes. I've never done it on my own, but I've definitely heard stories about it. So tell me this, bro. When I read your story as well, when you first started doing the hats, you talked about using some Avery paper or something like that. Like what was that? Like, what's the Avery paper? Tell me about that whole process.
So the Avery paper is pretty much the transfer paper that you go up to Walmart and you can buy it off the shelf. All right. It's not going to be the top of the line paper like like other companies out there with it or whatever, but it's just something basic to pretty much get you started. It's not sublimation because when you use it, you're using regular pigment ink. But it's good for at home type of crafts. You want to make something for your son or your daughter, and they're gonna wear it for one day and get it dirty anyway. So yeah. For sure. Okay, cool. So then you talked about Silhouette Cameo. All right. So you talked about Silhouette Cameo. What's the Silhouette Cameo? Because I've heard about this before, but I've never personally used it. Tell us about that and how that played a part as you were going through your journey. So the Silhouette Cameo, that's a vinyl cutter. Right. It's like an all-in-one vinyl cutter. It's that they have the software Silhouette Studio, kind of similar to the Cricut cutter and their software too. Right. So I was just using that to cut the vinyl when I was doing vinyl. But of course, you have glitter vinyl as well. So you have to use that to cut the glitter vinyl if you're going to be sublimating on the glitter itself.
Word. Yeah. Word. Okay, cool. So, bro, I mean, before you were kind of doing all this and you got in this, I know it just started. You was like, you just want to make some hats and be able to sell them. What were you doing prior to that? Like, were you working a regular, like what job? Like, what were you doing prior to getting in this whole printing thing?
Prior to that, I was working at a manufacturing plant overnight. I was working from like 10 o'clock at night to like 6 in the morning. Yeah. I did that for a couple years. Before that, I was at their warehouse, and I was doing that from 5:15 in the morning until sometimes it'd be 6 in the evening, 5 in the evening, or whatever, to get all those orders out. Right. So yeah, I was doing that. For that, I was working at the airport. I was transferring bags at the airport. For that, I was a janitor at the airport. I worked at the arcade, Kroger, Lowe's. Like I done been everywhere.
Right. You done it all. And during that time, when you were kind of doing these different jobs, did you have kind of like a vision for entrepreneurship, or is it just something that you kind of stumbled over one day and was like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and try to sell these hats?
Honestly, I've always had that hustling mentality, and I come from a family of business owners. Mm-hmm. My grandfather, he owned like a bunch of blueberry farms up in Michigan. Actually stayed up there in Michigan. Like, I don't know if anybody in here familiar with Colbert or South Haven or Kalamazoo, but I stayed up there for about like 10 years. So I used to work with my granddad. He used to drive us back and forth from there to Detroit to the farmer's market, try to sell, the fruit or whatever. Once I came down here, my aunt, she had an Afrocentric shop over there in the West End Mall. So I used to go in there and work with her over there, or down in Shannon Mall in Union City, or used to go to just all the different fairs like around the city, like the Jazz Festival and Sweet Auburn Festival, and just work with them. So just being exposed to that pretty much your whole life, and then going into a 9-to-5. I understand 9-to-5s are not for everybody, and there are for some people, but I picked up on a lot of things at those 9-to-5s that I didn't really understand until I looked at it from a business standpoint.
That's that's dope, bro. So real quick thing, Stan, when he told me about you, I know he ended up coming in town. He came and visited, and checked you out. And I remember him at that point in time, I was in my warehouse and, just trying to figure out processes and stuff like that. And I remember him telling me, he was like, my guy over at Cosmo 8, he used to work in, the warehouse. And he was telling me about systems and stuff that you had in place. And so just hearing you now talk about how you pick certain stuff up while you were working at these different jobs and you didn't realize it until you ended up doing your own thing, I think that's extremely dope. And I think those are like some bars and gems for everybody watching. If you have a job right now and you want to break free, realize that while you're at these big companies, try to soak up as much knowledge as possible, right? Because you never know how you can utilize that when you start doing your own. So that just clicked when you told me that. I remember Stan telling me that story. So, all right, bro. With that being said, so you did the Avery paper, right?
Yeah.
You did the Silhouette. Tell me about your marketing back then. Like, how were you selling these things? Were you going hand to hand, or what was going on at that point in time?
I pretty much made up a Facebook fan page at that time. I also had an Instagram too, which actually is still the same Instagram now. Like if you were to go to my Instagram right now, go all the way down to the bottom, you can see some of the items that I made. When it came to the bulk of marketing was through two things. It was either through word of mouth, or I printed out this really big, I ain't printed myself, but I got a car magnet from Sinazon. Wow. And I put custom hats in red on a yellow magnet and put custom shirts in red on a yellow magnet on both the driver and the rear passenger door on both sides of the car. Wow. And my phone number in big, bold, red letters, and then put all the little stuff underneath it. And, put I do family reunion shirts, sporting event shirts, things like that. But the main thing was just letting people know in broad letters what I do and my phone number. And it got to the point where I used to have to keep business cards inside my cup holder. I'll be at a red light on Old National. At a red light, somebody asked for my card. If the light red, I have to hop out the car, run and give them the card and everything. So yeah, I'm a hustler, man. Right, for sure. No, I love it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole grassroots. And so tell me this, when you had the number on the side of the whip, did you get a lot of phone calls from that? Were a lot of people calling from that? Man, I've caught people stop and take pictures. Wow. I seen them roll down the window. Me and my wife will be on the highway. It'll be traffic on the highway. People will slow down on purpose to pull up their phone and get us. They gonna get that phone number. That's wild, bro. Yeah, I always wonder, when people have I see the wraps. Today, I saw a wrap all around the car and they had the number and everything that people do. So that's really dope just to hear that people, respond to that. But that's wild. Yeah. They taking pictures of the car while they're driving. Yeah, no, that's fire, bro. So, all right, cool, man. So with that being said, tell me about, your transition from, the Silhouette to moving into the sublimation. How'd you learn about sublimation at that point in time and be like, okay, this is the direction that I want to go into? It was a couple of things. The first thing was I was looking on YouTube just for other printing processes that, I could afford at that time to get into. Yeah. And then I just came across a video of sublimation or somebody making some socks. I ended up going into that and, pretty much learned that process and took off from there pretty much. So you said it was socks? Yeah. When I first saw it was socks. It was a video. Somebody was doing some socks. Then I looked really in depth into it. And I think I found a couple videos of people doing conversions, but it wasn't a whole complete walkthrough of everything. Yeah. What was the first product you did sublimation with? It had to be socks. Yeah. It was socks, and then it was shirts, dog tags, the inside of a watch. Those are the main things. And coffee mugs, and then that was it. Right. So when you first did these socks, did you have to buy special type of equipment? Tell me about that whole process of doing that with socks or with any product. So the very first thing you want to look at is what size is your printer. Right, that's going to determine what size heat press you need. That's going to determine what size trimmer you need, how big of a sock you can do if you're going to be pressing over the entire sock. So I got the 13 by 19 Epson printer. And then after that, I just pretty much printed out, you need the printer, you need sublimation paper, you're going to need sublimation ink, you're going to need a trimmer, which I have one right back there. You're going to need a heat press. And of course, like I said, if you're doing a big sock, you're going to need, I recommend a 16 by 20 bare minimum for your heat press. After that, of course, your sock, you're going to need your sock jig. Right. You press your sock, you're going to pick it up. You're going to fold the edges over, and then you're going to put your sublimation paper on the back of it and then heat press it again. Also, you're going to need a lint roller. You may need they make this adhesive spray that you can use, but personally, I don't recommend it. I just recommend using heat tape because you don't want that stuff like the residue from the spray all on your stuff, and a few other things as well.
Yeah. So how long is that process, bro? So if I got all these things together and I'm like, man, I want to go ahead and make me some socks. How long does it take me to do that? Like from beginning to end?
From beginning to end, if you have the right setup and you're pretty much just, going based down like assembly line, it could take you anywhere from 4 minutes up to maybe like 8 minutes per pair.
Right.
So it really just depends on your printing speed, how much ink you're going to be laying down. If you're laying down more ink on your paper, of course, that's going to take a lot longer for that paper to come out, but it just really depends on that mostly.
Right. So tell me this, bro. What is kind of like the process as far as getting designs? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I see the all around designs. Do you create designs? Do you outsource them to somebody? Like, what's your whole process on the creative design aspect?
It honestly depends on how difficult it's gonna be.
Okay.
If it's gonna be just something with a few words, like for instance, the shirt, the picture that you put up for the flyer, where I had that shirt on, I did that design myself, but that was a pretty simple design, just some flowers in the background. I found the font on defont.com, and just increase the border, just play with it, but if it's like a very intricate design, and I don't know if you're familiar with this one or not, but it's my Black History Month collage. We got Malcolm X.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that is my official design. But I did not make that design myself. I contracted that out to somebody else because honestly, I didn't have enough time to be able to do that. And that's a lot of work. I had to pay him undisclosed amount of money to make that. But sometimes you got to outsource and pay that cost to really, make some money out of it.
Right. Right. Cool. No, that makes sense. So when you ended up getting your first, equipment and you created these socks, when was it that, well, tell me this, when you were creating, were you just doing it for yourself? Like, were you saying, hey, I'm just going to create stuff that I want to make? Or did you still had a sign on the side of the car selling to other people? Tell me about that.
Oh no, I definitely still had the sign on the car selling to other people.
Yeah.
I did make some stuff, of course, for myself, just like anybody would do. Right. But another thing I didn't mention earlier about the marketing, I took mine to the extreme.
Okay.
I threw away all my t-shirts.
You threw away every t-shirt that you bought?
Threw away, I swear to God, I threw away every t-shirt in my closet. If I did not make it, I was not going to wear it.
Hey, I rock with that.
Look, and then that way, when people ask me about it, I already have it on. I'll be like, hey, it looked like this. Because I'm going to tell them, exactly what I do as far as why I can't sublimate on black, why I can't sublimate on blue, and why, I can do this and I can do that. And, they can get a feel of the quality and understand the process before they even buy anything.
Heavy. So everybody in the audience, ask yourself, what is you wearing every day? When you go out, is you self-promoting? My dog Angelo say he threw all his shirts away. If he ain't make it, he wasn't wearing it. So, that's heavy, bro. I like that, though. I like that. So committed to the brand. So you out there, you doing this, you selling, you on Facebook, you wearing your stuff, you got the signs on the side of the car, everything like that. When did things really start growing for you? When did you be like, hey, man, I think I'm on the right path. Let me go ahead and keep trying to run this thing up?
Man, I'll never forget. It was August 2018. I ended up for a few months before that, I was doing some research on, ink and whatnot. I was like, that's something that, I want to get into. Definitely, your time is not free. Unfortunately, nobody's time is free. So, of course, I give away all my knowledge for free, but I need to be compensated, somewhere on the back end. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just do ink. And if they really like what I'm doing and everything and really support me, they'll buy my ink from me. So I ended up rocking with that. And in August, when I did my launch, when I first started, I was selling the ink bottles and already a pre-converted Epson 7720 printer.
Right.
I had 5 printers. I sold out of all 5 printers in 2 minutes.
Your printers, your own personal your own printers that you created.
No, the Epson printers.
The Epson printers that you had prior.
I went to the store, I bought a printer, I converted it over for sublimation, and then when I sent them the printer, it had already been converted, and it had like an extra 4-pack of ink in there, some paper, and I just sent it off to them. And when I posted that up, I sold out of all 5 printers within 2 minutes.
Wow. So, bro, tell me about this. Like, that's fire. First off, congratulations on that. When you talk about converting a printer over to be able to do sublimation, like, what does that take? Is that software? Is that putting new parts on? Like, what you doing?
All you're doing is just going to the store, going to I recommend Best Buy. Going there or not about to say Circuit City. They long gone.
That's throwback, bro. That's vintage right there, bro.
Oh yeah. They're Staples, even Amazon, just anywhere they got the printer. And then when you get it, all you're doing is just putting the sublimation ink into either a refillable cartridge if you have a cartridge-based printer, or you're putting it into the tank on the Eco Tank if you have a Eco Tank based printer.
Okay.
Tank-based printer.
Okay, cool. So you ended up, but okay, so that's the printer side, but let's talk about this ink. So you said that you went and you created your own ink. How you figure out about that process? Because that seemed like, it ain't like you just, it's an easy, low barrier entry creating a t-shirt. You said that you went ahead and got your own line of ink, bro. Yeah. How you figured out how to do that, bro?
Man, look, it's a whole process. I can't really get into that. But no, it's definitely a process. I pretty much outsourced it, but I ended up designing everything myself. I designed my own product labels. My cousin, he the one that actually did the logo. So shout out to him. And I pretty much just did everything on the computer. And I have another background. I actually have a college diploma in drafting. So I'm already familiar with, AutoCAD or Rivet, and stuff like that, and pretty much blue plans and blueprints and stuff like that. So once I got on Affinity Designer, pretty much what I use, I know how to convert it over to inches instead of pixels because you're going to be printing this stuff out. So I just went through and did that whole process. I even designed my boxes from scratch, like the whole, like each panel, folding it all together, making sure everything is nice and neat and crisp and everything. So when it comes to product design, I pretty much designed the whole packaging, appearance, everything from scratch.
Hey, so you got the cheat code, man, which is the education, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that I could learn how to do, you know what I'm saying? Like the blueprint in the CAD and all that different type stuff. Like, I'll be creating everything. So that's dope, bro. So tell me this. You said your cousin, he did that logo in the top right-hand corner. He did that?
Yeah. Yep.
That logo hard, bro. I was looking at it. I was like, it's fire, the detail in it. He did a great job with that. So tell me about your branding, bro. Tell me about how important that was to you, because, I'm sure that there's other people out there that sell ink. You know what I'm saying? It was funny.
Of course.
When I had craft investors on the show, I asked them about what paper they were using in the past, and they said other, and we were rolling when they did that. So I ain't gonna ask you that, but I'm sure that there's other things out there. How did when you were going into this and making all your branding and doing different stuff, how did you attack that and say, I'm gonna make my stuff look different, I'm gonna make it be unique? Like, what was your mindset? How did you go through that process?
My mindset behind it was pretty much theme driven. Of course, that's how, we came up with the name. And we actually came up with Cosmos Inc. because when you look up in the stars, when you look at the sky and look at different galaxies and stuff like that, that is going to be the widest range of colors that you can see. I'm pretty sure there's colors out there that we ain't never seen yet because we haven't been that far, into space. So I was like, you know what? When it comes to the widest range of colors, that's what I want to provide with my business. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just run with Cosmos Inc. And then my cousin, he did the logo, man. He put in the telescope shirt. He did everything, and made it look, like it was catered towards that theme. And that's the theme that I stuck with. and I ran with.
Right. So what year? What year? So I know you talked about 2018. Around what year was this? What time period was this?
Say it again.
What time period was this when you got your ink and you sold them first printers? Around what time was that? What year?
I got the ink probably around like the summertime.
Okay.
So probably around like May or June. And then
That's
after
2018. That's 2018.
Yeah. May or June of 2018, and then I did the official launch August 2018, and then after that, pretty much just went from there.
Right. So did it get to a point, because I know that you were doing more sublimation and stuff for other people, but did it get to a point to where you transitioned and you switched from doing sublimation for other people to more so selling your ink in your business, or did you kind of keep both of those different avenues running?
I kept both of them running for a split second,
okay.
But because the ink was taken off so much and there was so much stuff, like, people don't understand, there is a ton of work that you have to do on the back end that's not going to be on camera, but it's extremely important. It has to get done. So it got to the point where I was so busy and engulfed in that I had to let go of the custom printing.
Right. Okay. Got it. So you got busy with that and you switched over. Real quick. So I want to get more into the ink part. But one thing that I wanted to ask, I thought Garment Creations had a great comment and said there's so much you can do with sublimation, but it's so important that you have to have a target audience. For example, you can be the mug person or the license plate person. Tell me about that when it comes down to somebody having their own sublimation business and choosing a niche in a target.
So honestly, that goes for me, that goes beyond sublimation. That's what like any custom printing that you're doing.
Right.
It's just like shoes. Like, I know if I'm going, shopping for an outfit, I may get a shirt from just like various stores, may shop around for a shirt, shop around for some pants, whatever, not really stick to the same place. But when it comes to my shoes, I know I'm going to Jimmy Jazz to get my shoes. Right. So you need to be that type of person when it comes to whatever you're going to be making. So if you're going to be sublimating, coffee mugs, stick to that. A lot of people go broke trying to sublimate everything. And I tell them all the time, look, don't try to do it all. Just find that one product, master that one product, and promote that one product. So that way, when people are looking for that particular item, you are the go-to for that item.
Right. That's fire. That's dope. I love it. So everybody, my guy, he talked about sublimation and or niching down in the sublimation space, but that goes for anything, right? And he talked about, not trying to do too much. You know what I'm saying? You'll go broke trying to do too much. So focus on one thing, and maybe later on you might expand a little further later on, but focus. That's huge. Now tell me this, bro. One thing that I read when I was going through your bio and stuff as well is you talked about when you were looking for this information, it was scattered all over the place. Tell me about that whole process as you were learning, and then the solution that you brought to the marketplace to help people understand how to learn this in a better fashion.
So when I was looking for it, it was scattered all over. It was some stuff on some forums, and you really had to either dig through that stuff or couldn't get access to that stuff through that forum. You had to go on Google to type in the question to pull it up to get access to that. And then you have different Facebook groups. At that time, there were bits and pieces here and there within those groups. So it was just scattered everywhere. So I looked at it pretty much from a curriculum standpoint. Like, when you learn in math, you just don't start out learning division and knowing Pythagorean's theorem and, just all that stuff. First you have to learn your numbers. If you can't do math if you don't know numbers exist. Period. So I went ahead and looked at it from that standpoint. Like, okay, first you got to do X, Y, Z to get to this point, then to get to this point, then to get to this point. And then I just pretty much broke it down and just built it back up from scratch going forward.
That's fire, man. So tell me about your group. At what point in time did you start opening your group and you start doing these YouTube videos and stuff like that, when you started contributing back to the marketplace?
So when I first started, if you notice, I started Cosmos Inc. in August 2018.
Okay.
But I didn't launch my Facebook group until like May or June of 2019.
Yeah.
And that's because, I was going through a whole transition. I done been in groups. I done been kicked out of groups. I done been, just everything. And you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna hate on it. That's what come along with it. You can't come in somebody's house straight up, just disrespecting their house or whatever and thinking that, everything's, okay and, all happy and nilly-willy and stuff like that.
Right.
But, some stuff happened with that. Left that one. It was another group I helped co-start, which a lot of my day zero people who in here, they already know, where that was, or where it still is and everything. So I left that, started up my own, and pretty much went forward from there. And as far as growing the group, to be honest, starting out, YouTube was the biggest help in growing my Facebook group. Just talking about sublimation. After YouTube, it was pretty much my network, of people that I work with. And then after that, I swear to God, bro, it was your ads. It was your ad. I took your ad course, bro. I took your ad course. I had tweaked it a little bit, and then I started running ads promoting my Facebook group. But Facebook won't let you use an ad that has a link that goes directly within Facebook. So now you got to take it to your website, and then they hit the announcement bar, and then they come back into Facebook, and they're in my group. But that, honestly, dude, that was like the biggest help. That what shot me past like the 50,000 and up mark.
Dang, bro, I didn't even know that, family. Hey, and I think when we first talked, I think you mentioned something about, did you come? So tell me this. That's wow. First off, congratulations. I want to talk about all these different methods, but you done got me hyped up on the ass. So with that being said, bro, did you take one of like my 4-hour courses like last year or something like that? The 4-hour joint or what?
I don't know if it was 4 hours or whatnot. I know it was, I think, $97.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah,
so that's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
so you did that and you blew up the group. So that's a strategy. So tell me this, because right now when I was going on your website, I saw you had the website, and at the top of the page you had a link that go to your group. So is that what you was doing?
Yeah.
That's hard. Hey, y'all. My guy just told y'all a strategy to grow y'all group with ads. That's fire.
Take it. Take it.
That's hard. That's hard. No, I love it, fam. So tell me this. Talk to us about the importance of YouTube, because Stan, he the one who got me to do that. I'm doing this show right now because my dog told me to get on YouTube about a year ago. But tell me about YouTube, like the power of YouTube and you getting on and you talking about a topic that you enjoy, that you're doing business in, that you're passionate about. How if anybody, right? I want to talk about anybody. If anybody has something they're interested in, what advice would you have for them to attack YouTube and use it as a marketing channel?
If you're going to be doing YouTube, I recommend using YouTube as what you would call a driver. All right. It's pretty much a cold driver, like pretty much how people get on Google to, find the answer, find, anything. They're going to get on YouTube to find anything. So whether you want to talk about sublimation, whether you want to talk about different cultures as far as how they cook their food, if you want to talk about go to different states and talk about the history of that state and sell shirts with the state flag on it, hint, hint, whatever you want to do, you can do it through YouTube. But of course, when you get on there, you have to, pretty much set up your intro, like how you got, do your formal introduction. Of course, tell people to subscribe, tell them to join your Facebook group if you have one, tell people to join your Instagram, just anything and everything that you have to get out the way in the beginning, and then just jump into the bulk of, your video.
That's hard. Well, no, I think that's dope. And I think for everybody, right? Listen to what my guy just talked about, right? And just me personally, I know this, we talking about sublimation, but look, man, this business, we talk about marketing, whatever, anybody, I suggest if you got something that you enjoy doing and it's niche down, come speak on YouTube, because, man, the word get out, it spreads. YouTube marketed on its own. These are all the things Stan was telling me, and I'm seeing it like in real time. So YouTube. So that's fire, family. That's fire. So somebody asked a question, bro, and I wanted to kind of talk to you about this. I like talking about the highs and the lows, you know what I'm saying? So somebody mentioned, what were your biggest hurdles in your business adventures? Give us a couple examples of maybe some things you had to maneuver around as you went on your journey. It's getting real. Yeah, it's getting real.
Honestly, one of your biggest hurdles is going to be, especially like once you start to get, a fan base and everything, and things are, rolling and everything. First off, is going to be people who don't believe, in what you're doing. So if I pick up a bottle of water and I paid $1 for it and sell it for $5, they say it's too expensive. If Jay-Z do it, everybody flocking to it, that's because he got the, success and everything behind his name. But of course, he had to build that. He had to build that up. So the biggest hurdle, of course, was just getting everything off the ground initially. And then after that, just keeping up with the production. Oh my God, the production mixed with some of the people. People were angry at me. They were hot, like 38 hot at me, because I kept running out of ink. And I'm like, I'm putting all my own money into this. When I first started up, I didn't have no loan. I didn't come from, a family with money, anything like that. So I kept running out, but I would order, 5 times the amount, or, 4 times the amount, that I had last time. And it was that. It was getting packed out of my basement all the way to the point where I had to go get an indoor storage unit out in Union City, got 5 indoor 10 by 20 units, and will fulfill the orders directly from the storage unit.
Wow.
Yep. I got my family. Yeah, I had my family behind me. They was in there helping me package up orders. We'll print out all the labels and all the paperwork at the house, and then just take it up there to the indoor storage unit, box everything up, and get it out as fast as we humanly can. That leads to another thing. We're not Amazon. We're not Amazon. We're not Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not those big shipping companies that have all these people working for them that have multiple warehouses around the world. We're doing all this from one spot, and we're building into it. And I guess that leads to the last point, which is pretty much like, people want to see the success, and they want to see everything, but they don't see all the stuff that you go through on the back end. A lot of times people will want to, pull you down as you're going up, but they don't understand that, what you're doing is for them, and you're trying to pass along that knowledge as much as possible. But, some people will try to take that knowledge and use it against you, and, all types of, crazy stuff that come along with it. But, it's all business. It's what come with it.
Cool. Well, I appreciate, the transparency of everything that's going on. But the big key that I just think I noticed through the whole, all those different things is, bro, you got something that's in demand. You know what I'm saying? You got something that's in demand. So whether it's customers being hot with you, right, because you sold out, is because it's in demand and you have a great product. You know what I'm saying? So, although that there's problems, is these good problems that you have. And so, you getting it from the bottom, like you said, you ain't had no loan, no investment, and you just kept flipping it and making it happen for yourself. So tell me this, bro. You talk about production. I want to go back to what you talked about a little bit earlier. You learning about this whole warehouse and how to operate. What are some of the systems that you use, that you've implemented, right, that make your business run smooth on a day-to-day as you're fulfilling these orders?
Pretty much like a warehouse layout system, kind of like I used to work at Publix.
Okay.
Publix warehouse, and I was a warehouse selector. So they pretty much give you a headset. It tell you, what aisle to start at, and then when you get to that aisle, you pretty much look at that slot, and then it gives you either a number or a letter. So if it gives you a letter and it's an L, you can be like Lima ready, and then it'll tell you how many to pull from that slot. And then I transition from that into a forklift driver to where I have to replenish that slot. So that's when I understand, everything about setting up your warehouse to the point to where you know exactly where to go and how many of that item to pull from that slot. I currently use Shipping Easy for that. So I can set it up. I can be like, okay, go to slot A3, to get a Sublimation ink 100 milliliter 4-pack. And then you get to that slot, that item is there, and it'll tell you on the paper how many you need to pull from that slot. You pull that many, you take it back to the desk, you pretty much scan the order sheet, scan the item, it automatically do like a QA check to make sure it's the right item going into that box, and then you send it out.
That's fire. That's fire. So tell me this, bro. You got how many employees work for you?
Right now I have about 4 to 5. Yeah. I say about 5 solid employees, but honestly, we're looking at growing from that. I'm hiring 2 in-store customer service people right now. So if you're in Atlanta at the time of this recording, and you know somebody who need a job, you know what they're doing with Sublimation, definitely tell them to go on Indeed and just type in Cosmos Inc. The application will pop up. And then, you know, once we get them in there, then I can pretty much train them on, you know, how things are going to go. Then we can do our grand opening for the warehouse / storefront. So everybody can come up there and replace the order in Atlanta. You can come up there and pick up your order and everything. So it's a process to it, man. It's a process.
I love it, bro. I love the growth, man. I just love seeing, you know, and hearing, you know, where you started and, you know, you develop, you got this warehouse, you got this whole system, you hiring people, right? You got a real business that you run. And I think that's commendable, man. You know, you're scaling and you're taking things to the next level. So with that being said, bro, like, what's next for you, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, where do you want to take it? What is your vision at this current point in time? And where do you want to grow?
I'm gonna go ahead and drop a bomb on you.
Hey, go ahead and drop the bomb, man.
I ain't said nothing about it. I probably told like a couple people that I trust, but I really ain't told nobody. But I'm currently have a Shopify app that's being developed, that's pretty much almost done. That's gonna allow people to put that app onto their Shopify website, and it'll allow their customers to get onto their website and design something on a shirt or any other template that the person decides to upload to offer for sale on their site, along with a wholesale breakdown, wholesale quantity breakdown. So you can type in, okay, if they buying this item and they buying between 1 to 11 of these, charge X amount. It costs this much to produce it, and then this is how much it'll do an auto sum in the end of how much profit you're gonna make dollar-wise and how much profit you're gonna make percent-wise. So we got that going on. It's what else? We're looking into I can't say that, but we are looking into some other things too.
Yeah.
Dealing with Cosmos Inc. So it's these next, like within a year, is gonna be a lot of major changes. And we finna go up from there, man.
Y'all finna run it up. Hey, big shout out to my dog. I love the fact you going into the SaaS space. My dog got an app, you know what I'm saying, that's coming out on Shopify, gonna make things great. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got all these big plans, and I just love to hear it, family. I love hearing that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the vision and the growth, man. I love speaking to entrepreneurs because, man, y'all dream, you think big, and it's inspiring to so many people. I'm just looking at all the comments, bro, and that app is going to explode. Awesome. Hand clap, fire. Angelo doing the damn thing. So, man, look, bro, that's all love, man, and I just really appreciate that, family. So, with that being said, bro, for the people who, you know what I'm saying, want to learn more about the sublimation, they want to buy some of this ink that you got going on, how can they find you? How can they contact you? How can they get in touch with you so they can support and then also be able to learn from you as well?
So if y'all want to buy the ink, of course, just go right down here. There you go. It's going across the screen.
Yeah.
Cosmos-ink.com. That is the only place that you can officially get it from us. You may see people selling it on the Facebook Marketplace. I've seen people selling it on Etsy, or well, not necessarily Etsy, but mainly other places. They probably just ordered the wrong thing, or they're not in it anymore and they just want to get rid of it, which, you know, definitely go and get it from them if it's, you know, still good. But as far as getting it from us, you can only get it from us directly on our website. Not Amazon, not Walmart.com, not anywhere else, directly on our website.
Absolutely. So y'all make sure y'all go to www.cosmo-ink.com and make sure y'all tap in with my guy. So last thing that I want to ask you, my brother, for the people who are started on the entrepreneurship journey, they want to learn about sublimation at the very beginning. What's some words of wisdom that you would give to somebody who's just starting up and they trying to figure out how to make things work?
Ooh. Do not focus on what everybody else is doing. Focus on what you got to do. Everybody has to run their own race separately. Okay, just focus on what you got to do. As long as you sit down, you dedicate that time to what you got to do. It don't have to be everything. You don't got to do everything in one day. 1% a day is still 365% in a year. So just sit down, focus on a task, complete that one task, then go to the next task that's on your list.
Wise words, my brother. Wise words. Well, look, bro, I appreciate this, family. This has been amazing. I know the audiences has appreciated it. Everybody that's going to watch the replay, I know that they're going to love it. It's a lot of gems we talked about today. And look, bro, I just can't thank you enough. I got to say thank you for putting your fingerprint on the T-Shirt Millionaires live show. I'm truly grateful. I wish you much success in everything that you do. At some point in time, we definitely going to meet up and get together, family. And until then, bro, keep making it happen, fam.
Hey, we got to get you at a meet and greet, man.
Absolutely, man. We gonna make it happen. We gonna make it happen. All right, family. Well, I appreciate you, bro. We'll be in touch, man.
All right, bro. Talk to you later. Have a good one, man.
Peace. Yeah. And another one. Hey, man, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up, man. I appreciate my family, man. He over here talking about his story. Let me tell y'all this, bro. This is what I liked about this interview the most, bro. My dog got a quality product. He got a quality product that's in demand. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I appreciate the most, is the fact that this man created something that is flying off the shelf and people love. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got good problems. You know what I'm saying? With being, customers being hot about him being out of stock. You know what I'm saying? Different stuff like that. He got the great problems, the problems that we all want to have as we're running business. And so I appreciate what he's done. I appreciate the vision. I appreciate how he started out with his Avery paper, how he moved over to the Silhouette, how he moved over and he started doing, the sublimation, and he started with the socks. All right. And then he ended up learning the game and figuring out, okay, I can get a little piece here. I can get a piece here. He in Facebook groups. Some of them might be getting kicked out, but he finding the information, and then he takes that information and starts bundling it all together to figure out how to run the play on his own. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, he goes, he invests in himself. That's one thing that I really appreciate. And the fact that he had these different jobs. My guy told me he had about, 4, 5 different jobs that he had. You know what I'm saying? But one valuable thing that he talked about when having those jobs, and everybody that has a job right now, you need to look at it the same way, because when you look at it this way, you can really look at your job as a blessing, right? He learned different skills, right? The warehouse stuff that he's doing right now, he learned about that. He talked about Publix or something like that, and he learned something from Publix that he's implemented in the warehouse. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he figured it out. He ended up getting them printers. He converted them. Them printers went and sold real fast. He got his own ink. Customers was hot at him later on. He ended up switching and stopped doing maybe so much of the sublimation for people, but the ink business ended up, picking up. And then the great thing is, I love my brother's hustle. Listen to his hustle. My guy said that he on the side of his car, he had the big numbers. You know what I'm saying? He got the numbers on the side, say what he do. He driving down the street, people over there. Hey, bro. I would have raised. Hey, that would have made me nervous, bro. I would have had a look. Hey, I'll be looking up people. They over there taking pictures of my dog on the side on the highway. You know what I'm saying? And getting the number. And he said his phone was ringing off the hook. Grassroots. You know what I'm saying? Like how much are y'all doing that? And then at the same time, what I appreciate is the fact that My guy said he threw away all his t-shirts. Any t-shirt that he ain't create, he threw them all away. And he said that I'm not walking out unless it's something that I created. It's something that I made. So when people ask me questions, I can give them the answers and tell them, hey, I can't do Navy. I can't do sublimation on black. I can tell you these different processes and things to make sure that I give you what you want. But then the great thing too is this, outside of the business of him doing what he does, he's teaching people. You feel what I'm saying? He's teaching people. He getting on YouTube, right? He ran the ads. I love that. You know what I'm saying? I'm appreciative. I didn't even know that was the case. But I want y'all to understand this. If you have a Facebook group, if you have a page, think about this strategy that my guy did. He ran people to the website. If y'all go to his website right now, at the very top of the website, there is a link, and people clicked on that link and that start building the page. My guy got over 100. I think it's over 150K on his private group. And that's building an audience. That's building a following. That's building a tribe. And that's very powerful when you can do something like that. So I truly appreciate that, man. And then I just appreciate the vision and where he wants to take it. And he talked about not doing too much. Don't try to bite off more that you can chew. Don't go broke trying to go in all these different areas. Focus and niche down. It don't matter what type of business you got. Niche down, focus, right? That's a real key part of it. So, man, y'all make sure that y'all go follow my guy, Angelo. You can go follow him on Instagram. You'll go, if you look at when I say the video at the very bottom, underneath the comments and all that, you'll be able to get all his links. Go join his Facebook group. If you're looking for some great ink, make sure y'all go cop that ink. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all make sure y'all go follow him on Instagram. And so I'm super excited. I'm thankful that the man came and told his story today. I hope that y'all found inspiration. And we just going to keep going, man. We got another amazing interview tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all look out. Stay tuned. We're going to keep doing this. But I'm so grateful of every single person that comes on this show and says, yes, I reach out to a lot of people. And for the ones who say yes, I'm just always grateful and thankful that they come grace our presence and be able to give us this game to grow. One announcement, all right? We got something amazing coming for T-Shirt Millionaires. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Within a week, I'm going to be announcing something that is going to be amazing to where we can all connect. The beginning stages are rolled out. We're waiting on a few more things. And then once those things are done, we got something amazing to where we can connect as a community, as a family, and grow together. And I'm truly appreciative of every single person that watches this show, that supports the vision. You have no idea what it means to me. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end it. Thank y'all so much. Share this with your mama, your grandmama. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And as I always say, if you can see it in your mind's eye, one day you're going to be able to see it with your real eyes. Big shout out to Millionaire Mindset. I appreciate you, my family. I just want to make sure you know that I'm repping you today. Thank you so much. This shirt is fire. You know what I'm saying? I had to go ahead and throw my specs on for this today. And I appreciate you, bro. So y'all be blessed. Take it easy. I will see you on the next episode. T-Shirt Millionaires.